All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I want to talk about a bodybuilder in this video that I think is a tremendous bodybuilder. He's got great structure. He's got great shape. He's got a tremendous physique. He's got gigantic arms, 23-inch plus. He is a pro bodybuilder in the IFBB, but not our IFBB. So this bodybuilder's name is Michal Krizanek, who hails from Slovakia. Now, like I mentioned, he is an IFBB pro bodybuilder. Currently, his physique is sitting at about 131 kilograms, which is roughly 288 pounds, between 288 and 290. So a very big bodybuilder, 23-inch plus arms, like I mentioned before. However, you will likely never see him on the Olympia stage, and that's what I want to talk about in this video because I think he is a fantastic bodybuilder. In fact, a lot of you guys have been tagging me in his Instagram pictures and sending me different videos of him saying how impressive you think he is, and asking me, why has he not turned pro yet? Why have we not seen him on a pro stage? Well, the answer to that question is he is a pro. He's actually won an Arnold Classic Pro show. So he's actually won 2 Arnold Classic titles. He's a back-to-back Arnold Classic Europe champion in both 2018 and 2019. But there's an interesting story behind that. So Michael won the 2018 Arnold Classic Europe under the IFBB Elite Pro banner. And this is where things get a little bit sticky and a little bit complicated. So a couple years back, there was a split in the IFBB. You've got Jim Mannion's IFBB, which is the IFBB that we all know the best. It's the only way to get to the Olympia. All of the main shows, all the main bodybuilders that you can think of right off the top of your head, they're in this IFBB, Jim Mannion's IFBB. The NPC and the IFBB, that's what we're familiar with. Now, the IFBB Elite Pro is under the jurisdiction of Rafael Santoja, and at the time, again, it's kind of complicated. Arnold Schwarzenegger is still affiliated with him to some extent, and the Arnold Classic still has a little bit of gray area as far as the split between the IFBB is concerned. But technically, Michael actually won an Arnold Classic, the Arnold Classic Europe. Interestingly enough, the year prior, this same professional Arnold Classic Europe was won by Big Ramy. Big Ramy won the 2017 Arnold Classic Europe. So this was right around the time where the split happened. So it was, again, kind of a gray area with this competition. So to be honest, I'm not exactly an expert on all the exact details of why this split occurred in the IFBB and all the little political things that led into it. But essentially, the split happened towards the end of 2017. Michael won this show in 2018. So had he won that show a year earlier, when the IFBB was not split, he would have been qualified for the Olympia that following year. So had he won that show when the IFBB was still all together, he theoretically could have been at the 2019 Mr. Olympia. But to put it simply, the IFBB is split, and he won that show on the other side of the IFBB, the side that you cannot qualify for the Olympia under, and he still stays under the IFBB Elite Pro banner and competes in that organization, not our IFBB. So it's likely that you'll probably never see him on the Olympia stage, although a lot of people would argue and a lot of bodybuilding fans would suggest that he would do well at the Olympia and he would look good on the Olympia stage. So let's get back to his physique here and talk a little bit more about why I wanted to make a video about this particular bodybuilder, because I do believe he has an outstanding physique, a physique certainly worthy of the IFBB here or over there, certainly a professional caliber physique. Now, looking at his recent pictures on the gram, recently his current physique seems to be hovering around 290. And as you can see, at 290 pounds, he's not in bad shape. And from some of the competition pictures that I've seen, when he does come around to compete, typically he's in really good shape. Sometimes it looks like he's missed the mark, but when he comes in shape, he looks absolutely phenomenal with that size and that conditioning. He looks fantastic. But the main thing, of course, that drew me to his physique was the size of his arms. 23 plus inches. Some people were saying 24, 25, but I think 23 is the more realistic number when you really look at it. And looking at the proportion of his arms to his actual physique, and again, this is a guy that's 290 pounds, and even at that body weight, his arms still look pretty big in contrast to the rest of his body, which might be a disadvantage in bodybuilding because you want to be evenly proportioned. But his arms are insane, and he's got a really good V-taper in my opinion. He's got wide flaring lats, nice tapered waist, and in the front double bicep pose, which is my favorite pose of his, he looks very, very dominant in that pose. The side chest as well is a great pose for him. He could work on his chest a little bit. I think the chest is a weak point for him. But overall, I think it's his shape that really catches the eye. I think that's what catches my eye, and I think that's what caught a lot of the eyes of the fans that have sent pictures of him to me, is the fact that even while he's this gigantic bodybuilder, around 290 pounds, he's got these crazy big arms, 23-plus inches, he's got a very tapered waist. He can almost hit a vacuum pose, it looks like, in the front double bicep. He's got a great V-taper, like I said. No signs from what I've seen of any type of bubble gut, and I think that's what the fans really liked about his physique, is the fact that he was able to bring that amount of size that you would expect to see from an IFBB pro bodybuilder with no signs whatsoever of distension in the midsection. He's got a really great tapered waist, and the V-taper is just insane. And again, the gigantic arms don't hurt in those poses at all. So honestly, the main reason why I wanted to make a video about him is because I really do think he's got a phenomenal physique. I think he's got a really unique and just it's just an eye-catching physique, and I think it's something that's unfortunate that we'll probably never see on a pro stage that we're familiar with in this IFBB or on the Olympia stage. So I just kind of wanted to give him the fan spotlight on this channel, because we're probably not ever going to get to see him go up against, you know, our favorite IFBB pros today and battle it out on stage. So I wanted to just kind of give him the spotlight here. So go show him some love on Instagram. He's only got, I think, about 50,000 followers on there. So show him some love. Tell him I sent you. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of this video, what you guys think of his physique, and what you guys think about the IFBB split. Again, I'm not an expert on the situation. It's very complicated. There's a whole lot of intricacies that went into it, and I'm not even going to try to explain it at risk of getting it wrong. So thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. As always, subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed already. And as always, Nick Strength and Power, signing out.